Okay, my streaming lab. Have a great class.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Esther, hello.
Hello, I'm here
Yeah.
again.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for being here. It's great.
Thanks for having me as well.
Thank you. Let me just make you co-host while we're thinking about
Yep.
it.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay, there we are. You're on our co-host.
Okay.
What happened to that guy, the admin guy at the previous class? Somehow we
Yeah,
couldn't.
I think I sent him a DM on how to rename because he's not replying. So I gave him some steps on how he can rename his himself through Zoom, and then yeah, he's not replying. So
Yeah,
I also sent another DM saying that if can he send his name so that I could put it correctly instead
yeah,
of a
yeah.
good thing you bring it up to him. So you
Yeah,
did
he
it.
didn't even know how to chat on the page. That's why I eventually just did it myself and changed it.
Yeah.
Quick and easy then. Yeah.
Well, by the next time, he can send I will know eventually, and I'll automatically change it for him next time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess his will stay now with his name.
Yeah. I guess he knows now how to do it since you're doing it within share screen. So it's not going to
Right.
be a problem for him in the future.
Yeah. 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 So anyway, it was, there's also, it's interesting because there were something like, I'm just guessing now, but about 6 new live streamers. Okay. Now, those 6 people are not going to get my email.
That's
And
strange.
well, they don't. You see, that's what I'm told by my support team, is that the live streamers don't get the emails. They've got to go book and come into class through that link.
I see.
And it's a pity because I said to them, I'll put this on the email after, put this on the email after. I didn't realize there were so many live streamers. But anyway, they can ask for it, I guess.
Yeah. If you want, you can send the names to me so I could, directly tell it to the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you would get it anyway, I think, as being a
Yeah.
participant. Okay. But I still don't think they identify the live streamers with an email address. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
Here we are. Hello, Gladys. Can you hear me, Gladys? No. And Carol?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Okay. Any chance of putting on a video, or you don't want to put a video on?
No, don't want to put a video on.
Okay. As long as you talk to me, Carol. It's an unusual way of spelling Carol. So what nationality is that?
Well, my parents named all the kids with names starting with K. So it's not a nationality. They just changed the spelling.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Gladys, what about you? Can you hear me yet? Can you respond? Hello?
Yeah, she just chatted.
Okay. Thanks, Esther. Okay. Zachary, hello, welcome. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Okay, welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, great. And we've got Pat. Welcome, Pat.
Well, thank you, Michael. I'm here and I can hear. Thank you.
You can hear. That's great. But you're probably in bed, so you're not going to have your camera on, eh?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, Pat, what brings you to this sort of introduction to a whole lot of different Google apps?
Well, I really haven't used much of Google. And I'm interested in learning more and starting to use it more. I'm interested in the calendar app.
Right.
I'm interested in Google Drive and just learning more about it in general. I know very little.
Okay.
Other than I can get Gmail.
Right. Okay, that's great. Well, thanks for sharing that, because then I can emphasize on those when I get to them. Okay, rather than just sort of introduce them and move on. So yeah. So Zachary, what would you like to get out of this class?
Actually, I'm just here to learn more about the Google Suite, and also to see is it something that I can refer others to. I work for a nonprofit called Friends of Parkside in Detroit. We're working to teach seniors how to use their tablets. And so I was just sort of hoping to just sort of hang out in the class and see if there's going to be a good fit for them.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So I think a lot of people need that, Zachary, those tablets, because I find a lot of what I show from my desktop doesn't appear on their tablets. And so you're going to be doing a good job there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Laura, hello. You're still fitting out your microphone.
Back again. Same microphone issue.
Same microphone, yeah. So what about Carol? Carol, what do you hope to get out of this lesson, this class?
Well, I have a Gmail account that I recently opened, but I haven't done much with it, and I don't know what apps Google has, so I'm really beginner.
Okay, no, that's what this class is about. It's for beginners, okay? Just to introduce certain apps that you may not know that are there. And, you know, while we're in the app, you can ask a question, which I'm sure Laura will, okay?
Yeah, she never has any questions.
She's also very helpful in the class. So welcome to Nancy. Hello, Nancy. Can you hear me, Nancy?
Yes.
Oh, good. Why are you in class, Nancy?
Huh?
Why? What do you want to learn out of this class?
Well, I keep learning, you know, because there's a lot to learn. So I need to learn more. You know, I have to keep coming back because I forget everything.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Is that your kitchen behind you there? It's
Oh, I wish. Nice, right?
Nancy, no, you don't. If that was your kitchen, you'd be working in it. So
Yeah, right.
you don't want that kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've got Mom with us too. Hello, Mom. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi, good evening.
Good evening. And
dear.
what brings you to this class?
Oh, excuse me, let me turn this. Okay. Yeah, I thought I'd sit in and try to be quiet and see what I missed because I have so many questions. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
I always learn something new.
Right. Okay, that's fine. You know, I've just finished a class, and I realized when I checked with support that people who join live, in other words, they don't book and then come through their connection, they don't get my emails, okay, because there's no record of the emails. And also people who only use a pseudonym or another name like Mom, okay, they can't identify that to an email address. So you would also not get an email, okay? But you don't have to change it, but just be aware that if you're not getting emails from classes, it might be for two reasons, and those two reasons that I mentioned. So
yeah, I didn't know that. Well, my daughter set this up, so I'm mom to her, and we usually have cross country and with my nieces and their cousins in Australia and California. So and to them, I'm mom or aunt. So I have to change it each time. I've learned how to change it now.
oh, good. You've learned how to change it. Okay.
I didn't know that we won't be getting your email because
Yeah.
I always I'll go back and request for the recording. Okay, yeah. Your
Yeah.
email is what is included when they respond, right? When they support. Okay, thank you.
We've got Lester in the class, who's a support person from Get Set Up. So please, he will help you as well to change your name to whichever name, but you just let him know what name you want to change to, and he will help you. But there, we've gone. Okay,
I take around. I find that with computers and Androids, you really have to keep using it. Because at this stage in life, I can't remember all the details. And even the same, I don't want to change my Android phone or whatever. The new versions come up. My son gives me those, and there's still some differences, and some are just well. So I thought I'd keep up by just listening, and there's so many apps out there that I haven't used yet, and sometimes I use one or two, found to my sorrow that I found out something else.
Okay. Yes.
I
That happens to all of us.
I restarted and it took all my widgets out of whack, even though I had locked them in. So I don't know what, and it's not convenient right now, to run over to my son's and say and ask him this is what happened.
Can we get started?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, that's interesting. And Zachary introduced himself just now, and he's working for another organization, teaching you how to use different apps. But he mentioned Tablet. I assume, Zachary, that's also other apps as well besides tablets. Yep. No, he's gone.
Oh,
Zach.
is that me?
That's Zachary in the class. You can send him a message on chat if you want to, and
Yes.
And ask him, what it is that he does. And yeah, so it's great to have you all in class again. And we're going to go through a few issues with regards to some slides that I want to do, because some of you are so new. So I'm going to share my slides. So just bear with me for 1 minute and then nod your head or say, yes, you can see my slide. Thanks, Laura.
Yes.
That's great. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So what we're going to do now is just go through some slides. As is customary, I introduce myself, as do all guides. My name is Michael Plumstead, as you can see on the screen, and I live in Perth, Western Australia. And yeah, my business is background in researching and writing, and being a mentor for business owners. But I also enjoy gardening and growing microgreens, and just love being a father to the hundreds of children that I have. Okay, and I love being a guide and in Get Set Up. It's really, really super. So this is what we're going to be covering in the agenda, but it really doesn't do justice to it. But we're certainly the first few slides for those beginners who have no idea what's going on. We're going to go through some basic slides. Then we're going to go live onto the websites of each of these different apps. Okay, and remember, apps are really designed to download onto your smartphone, but you can access them also on your I guess tablet, but certainly on your computer and your laptop. So Google apps are there and they really do. Okay, they're there to help improve your life. As you can see, what I've got on the screen now, there's emails and calendars, and there's an office suite, and there's file storage and searching facilities, how to communicate and communicating with people, and also enrichment, which I'll show you as well. So from asking you at the beginning, most of you are novices, and one of you has sort of been using Gmail and so on. So I didn't find any experts in these yet, or even intermediate, but you're probably an expert in one app, maybe. Okay, and so we'll come across that app as we go forward. Now, Google has a little byline that they say tells you everything about their apps in one sentence, and there it is on your screen. Organize your information and make it universally accessible and useful. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of that online, and we'll see. So all Google apps are free to download and to start using them. But there might be a price later on somewhere, but you can certainly get use of them. And the files are always stored in the cloud, okay? So they're always available on any device, whether you're using your computer or your tablet or whatever, your Google Chrome, your smartphone, they are available. And that's really a big advantage to start using Google Apps and having everything saved in the clouds and having everything backed up. You're not going to lose anything if you start putting your documents up there and your photographs up there and spreadsheets and your minutes to your meetings and things like that. Okay, so you do need, which you've all got because you've joined here, you need an internet connection, and you require a Google account. And I'm going to show you quickly how to get one, because one of you said that you're absolutely new to this. So if you've got a Gmail account, you've automatically got a Google account, because you had to open, unknowingly perhaps, or what you can't remember, you had to open a Google account in order to get Gmail. So here quickly is going to be getting a Google account. Okay, so you would then go to google.com/accounts, or just go to google.com. It'll lead you to accounts, and you click create an account, as you can see on the screen there. And then this screen would come up that's underneath. Don't worry about the detail. We've got Get Set Up. I've got lots of advanced classes or intermediate type classes on all sorts of individual apps. So you just got to search for them on getsetup.io and you'll find them. But here it's very easy. You just follow what comes up on the screen. Okay, once your name and email address and phone number, put it in. Okay, because Google is probably the biggest tech company on the planet. Okay, and it will really make good use and help you if you give them the information that they want. You can create a username, but as I say, we've got an advanced class here where you can go through it if you're really worried, but don't be worried. A username, it's just a name you create for yourself. I just put my first name and surname together and that becomes my username. But generally, you know, there might be a lot of Mary Joneses and you might not be able to do that, okay? So you might have to add a 1 or a 2 or something else into your name to get a username. Okay, then Google will send you a verification message on your phone with a code in it, and you've got to then put the code into what you see here on your screen, where on the same screen that you've been filling out your information. So you will then just put in the code, and you're now getting a Google account. You just need some information on your profile. You know, like your date of birth and a few other things, you know, whether you're male or female or neither. And right, you now have a Google account. Okay, and hooray! You know, that's how easy it is, and it's powerful having a Google account. So you really, if you haven't got one, if you haven't got a Gmail, then start. And get yourself running now with a Google account. It gives you access to the internet. You have access to the internet with a Google account, which you need some sort of browser, and Google is a browser, as is Google Chrome as well as a browser, as is Firefox and others. But Google is a very, very powerful search engine. So you can now search with it. And you now have access to well over 150 Google apps. So don't feel shy that you don't know much about Google apps. I don't know much about Google apps. I can teach you something only that I know about and possibly I use. Okay. So, you know, we can look and access some of them. and see how we go from there. Now, I'm going to show you this when we go live. When you use Google Apps, you sign in for the first time, and I leave myself signed in. I don't sign in and sign out and sign in. I just, I'm always signed into Google. So you sign into your Google account and you click on this orange waffle image up here, and you find this all over the internet. You'll see this waffle, and down will drop the first page of Google Apps. And then I'll show you when we go live, you can pull that down, and then more Google Apps lower down, lower down, lower down. Okay. So you can just select an app from any one of these, just click on it. Okay. And you can use it in the cloud. You don't have to install it onto your phone. Okay. It just becomes more convenient in this 2021 age to have it on your phone and to use it on your phone. So you can download it, go into one of your stores, depending what type of phone you've got, and go to your particular app store and type in the app that you want to download. Okay. It's really very simple. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop the slides there, and I'm going to look at some of these apps that you see on your screen now. And I'm going to follow, for me, a certain logic to move forward. And as somebody has already mentioned, you know, we can start with Gmail. Now, Gmail, if you do nothing else, I would really get a Gmail account. You might have other emails, you know, you might have Yahoo, or you might have Outlook and so on, but get yourself a Gmail account because that's sort of one of the cornerstones. The other one is Drive, which we'll come to. One of the cornerstones here is with Gmail. Now, you can put your own background in. I've just put this background in, and from time to time, it's very easy to change. And if you do, Get Set Up has a detailed class just on Gmail, okay? So please feel free to look for that class, search for that class, and you'll get the detail. But what I like about this is that it's different from others that I have used historically.
Smokey, come on, I got room for my little puppy. Come on, my little puppy.
Oh.
Come on, my.
Okay, here we are. I hope puppy comes. All right. Right, what I was saying was, as the Gmail, you can create a background that is unique to you. You've got lots of options and you can change them regularly. And but those are insignificant things. I attach certain things next to the Gmail account, as you can see on the right-hand side, and some things come naturally on the left-hand side, if you look at the left-hand side. And we're going to be looking at some of these in detail, but you can have them here. In other words, a chat. Somebody sends you an email, and you know, with Gmail, they come through like instantaneously. They really come through fast. You can then click on chat and invite the person to have a chat with you via the Gmail account. And so that's a big option to be able to use from your Gmail. So that's an advantage for it. You can go into a separate room and chat to somebody as well, and I'll show you those as we come. And but you can also go and click right at the bottom left-hand side of the screen is the word Meet. That's another app that comes with the Gmail here, and you can now, it's like Zoom, and you would go to Meet and you would have a quick meeting with somebody. So that becomes handy as well. Coming to the right-hand side, you see right at the top, there is Google Calendar, and we'll be doing that next. Really having a calendar to keep tabs of your meetings, of promises you've made about contacting somebody, and maybe training programs that you schedule to go and watch, then you would go there. Underneath that is Keep, which is notes, and we'll be covering that, and tasks and so forth, and then also contacts, and we'll be covering that. What I'm trying to show you here is that you can put whatever you want. You know, I've got a Zoom link here, okay, which is not a Google thing. So you can bring in another app that you want to put on the side by clicking the plus sign, you know, there at the bottom. But for different devices, you'll get exposure to different apps that you can't just do any app, okay? So look at your device, look at what your program is telling you. So that is Gmail, and I strongly recommend that you go to your Google account and you open a Gmail account. It's waiting there for you, okay? It's already, it wants you to open it. So it's very easy to do that. You've just got to create an email name, and it'll tell you whether that name's taken and whether you've got to, you know, make it different. So if you're Mary Jones, you might have to have something like Mary Jones 15643, and then that would be Mary Jones, and you would have that unique email address. Okay, so you know, I want to now go to that calendar at the top there and share that one. Now this is also now a very logical calendar, a logical app to have, and much like the Gmail, you can add things on the side. You can see on the right here, you can add things on the side. And, you know, for scheduling events and to respond to other people who send you dates for a particular meeting, then that can automatically be saved to calendar. And you can manage events that you want to run through your Google Calendar. And we do have a class for advanced things. Yes, Carol, what can I?
I'm looking at the computer for this class, and I'm looking at my Gmail on my phone, and I hardly had any of the things on the left side, and then the right side where you said there's calendar and all that stuff. I don't have any of that, nor do I have a plus. So I'm totally lost where you're getting all this stuff.
All right. I will suggest that you're looking on your phone, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get, you can't fit all that onto a small screen. Okay.
Okay.
It's just not possible. So I'm doing it on a computer and a laptop, and these things, if you have access to them, then you will see what I'm seeing. But we also do an advanced class just on Gmail. Okay. And I really think you should take that, because then they will suggest different apps and where you can find different things. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Who else has got their hand raised?
Yes, Michael.
Nancy, yes.
I don't see that stuff on the left side of my desktop either, about the rooms and whatever you had there. I didn't see that either.
Yeah. Okay. Are you doing this on a computer? Are you watching on a
Yes, I'm
computer?
on a desktop.
On a desktop?
Yes.
You remember some of the things on the Gmail you add yourself, okay? And if you page down, you will also see some of the things on the left, okay? So you need to just experiment with it, but I seriously recommend, if you're going to use Gmail, because clearly you are, Nancy, I would suggest you go to the more advanced class where they then cover all those aspects, okay? So my task is really just to expose you to Gmail and the benefits of Gmail. Would that be all right? Would you be able to go and find an advanced class?
Yeah, but it's just that I don't know, I don't see those things on the left side that you have.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay, but you'll find it out in a class, without a doubt. Okay, if you go to an hour class just on Gmail, they will show you how to get those things there, how to find them, is particularly with whatever app you're using. Okay, even on your laptop.
All
All
right,
right.
thank you.
Okay. All right. So coming back to the calendar, we know just logic tells us there's all sorts of things. We can create reminders. Okay, so let's say we've got something for a week's time. It's on our calendar. We can set a reminder to remind us, a day before or 10 minutes before. So you can really make good use and never have to forget a meeting again. And again, you can add things around your calendar depending on which device you're looking. And you've got settings right up here at the top. And if you click on that and you click on settings, you're going to get a whole lot of options with regards to your particular calendar. As you can see on the left-hand side, there's a time zone, there's a world clock, all the things you see there. You've got to go to settings and you will find those. You can change your language to whatever options you've got there. And you can create keyboard shortcuts, and don't worry about those now. Again, there is a detailed class. I'm going to just click back on the back arrow and get back to the calendar. That was that little cog at the top. That's what I clicked on to get to settings. And that's really worthwhile going to. Now you see, I showed
Michael,
you. Yes?
I have a quick question. When you do reminders, can you tell it where to send the reminder to?
Yes, you can. Yes. It can be to your phone. It can be to an email address.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. And so here we've got the little grid where I showed you in the slide. You click up top here, and here come the first page of the Google Apps, and then you scroll down and there are all the others. Now you often find this on Google websites and on Google Apps. So you just click, and all you have to do is click on them, all right? Nothing more than that. And you're then going to be able to use that app if you're using a computer straight away. And you can also download it if you are using another device, okay? So watch out for that. That comes there. So I've got on purpose here, you see the keep means notes, and I'll show. So you can bring that there, and you can keep your notes right there with your calendar, as you can with your Gmail. And it's all the same app, okay? It's not like different apps. So it's available anywhere you want your notes. So whenever you want them, there are your notes. So if you make a note today on calendar, it's there next to the notes on Gmail. It's the same notes, okay? So it comes in very, very handy. Now with the calendar as well, you can create a task. By clicking task, you're going to then get the ability to be able to create a task for yourself there. I just clicked on it and add a task. And again, there are lots of options here. But first of all and foremost, do you want to use the Google Calendar? And if you do, then go spend the time going to one of our classes that specializes in the Google Calendar. That's also an hour of watching the Google Calendar. Okay, so if you have any basic questions about Google Calendar, then I can answer them now. Just give me a shout.
Michael, on the notes, are those notes attached to a particular date or a calendar item, a calendar event?
They are independent. You put in that information, okay? So if you want to put in a day, you can type in a note, and you can now put information in that you want with that note, okay? So the answer to your question is it's not specific to something like on calendar or on your Gmail. Okay, it is independent, but it's available on all those places. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other question before we move
Yeah.
on?
How would you find the notes?
You-
I
you-
just took one note. Is that really what it's like? It's just notes?
It's just notes, okay? You have them available wherever you want them to be available. So you can have the icon here on the calendar next to Gmail. You can download an app called Notes, okay?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. And
Yeah.
I use AOL, and so I put my notes directly on my calendar,
Right.
relating to the event.
Yeah, no, you can do that here once you go to the calendar side of it, but the notes are independent. So you
Okay.
can do the notes independently, but you can bring them into your calendar, okay? So it's not that your calendar automatically links to the notes, you bring the notes in, okay?
Okay.
All right. Any other last questions? Right. We're going to go now to just expose you to Google. Sorry, if somebody wanted to, or was it just back?
It's Sylvia.
Sylvia, yes, Sylvia.
On the syncing, I also have Samsung calendar. Okay, because sometimes they sync and sometimes they don't, and I don't know when it doesn't. In other words, I could enter an appointment in my calendar. It says 31 on my Android, and sometimes it appears in my other device and in the Samsung calendar, and sometimes it doesn't. How?
Okay, Samsung. If I can, Samsung is not a Google app. Okay, that I'm aware of. I personally haven't heard of it. So there must be ways. You need to find some training about that particular calendar and see, because I'm sure it's able to link to everything. So it's just the information that you're going to need. But I don't know anything about it. Mine are all virtually Google related. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Because on that device, I also have Google. It started with Gmail, everything.
Yeah.
I got this new new device.
Okay.
I'll check into that because I share it with my son. That way we know each other's schedule. He's very busy, and so I try not to say call or call him. He may be with a patient or something.
Right.
That's what I've been using it for years.
Right. Yeah, that's good. You can do that also with Google Calendar. You can share your calendar. I mean, some doctors have a Google Calendar and you type in your own appointment. You see where there's a gap and you type in your own appointment. So there's lots of functionality with Google Calendar. And I urge you to do the class on Google Calendar to get to know the different functions. As I do with you, Sylvia, find some information about your particular one. Maybe your son can because he gave it to you, know where you can get some training. Okay.
Yeah, he has time. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Michael, we have to
Yes?
be very careful with that. Just because they give it to us doesn't mean they want to be spending a lot of time with us, teaching us how to use it. We put too much pressure on them, we don't get the gift.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely.
Right. That is.
And can we cover Google Earth as one of the maps?
Yeah, we're going to get there if
Okay. We're running out of
it's
time.
the last thing I'm going to show you if we manage to get there in time, but if you want to see it, I'll definitely show it then. Okay, so let's move through. Google Meet is, as I said before, it's exactly like Zoom, okay? You can click on a new meeting and invite people like you can on Zoom as well. And or you can just enter a code that somebody has sent you and you can enter their meeting. Okay, and again, you've got the settings up here, the little cog that you can go to, and we at Get Set Up use Zoom mostly, but when we have our staff meetings, we tend to go here to Google Meet. And one of the advantages is you link it to the calendar, and then the calendar reminds you you've got a meeting and sends you the link as part of the reminder, the Google Calendar. So it'll send you now the link to this if it's scheduled for.
Is this brand new too, Michael? I never saw this either.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of functionality with Calendar, and that's why I've brought it up second to Gmail. Is that I'm trying to. I don't do the advanced class, but there are a couple of guys that do the class. So
no, I'm talking about the new meeting. This premium video. This is brand new.
Yeah, it's not new to Google. Okay.
Well, I don't have it.
Okay, you just got to search for it. Then you go into your searching and search Google Meet. Okay, and also check whether it's in your. If I click on the drop down menu, there it is. The waffle line. Okay, so look for the waffle line and click on Google Meet. Okay, and then just fiddle around with it. It's the best way of learning is actually fiddling. And so, all right. So basically that's Google Meet. And let's move on now. Now we come to the Keep. And the Keep, as I said to you before, it is it's just notes, okay? And you can put these notes, into, let's say, the calendar or where you want them. And again, it's actually very simple. It's not, again, we've got the settings up there that you can go to. And there are various options with regards to your settings you can see there, okay? So you've got reminder defaults there that you can have, and you can share your notes. And so it comes in handy if you're doing something with another person to share those notes. And there on the left, you can see the reminders there. Take it and set a reminder for yourself. And you can label your notes. That comes in handy too. So you can put different notes, your notes about baking, or your notes about reminders for meetings, and your notes about, where to buy your whatever. And, you can have those labels. So then now you can have your notes in easily accessible. And then, of course, you can archive them, which means you can get them back, or you can bin them, which you won't get them back. So it's very important to, I think, create labels. I think, if you've got labels, if you're going to do a lot of notes, I don't do a lot of notes. So I just leave them open on the screen. And so those are your notes. And the next thing we come to is what one of you asked about, and that is probably the most important aspect that I'm going to show you now today is the Google Drive. Okay, the Google Drive is like the hub of everything that you do with regards to anything that needs storage. Okay. And so your documents, your photos, your presentations, it all gets stored under your Google Drive, okay? And from this position, you can now share anything with anybody on the planet, and you have access to this on all your devices. So it's like a really comfortable home that you're storing all the things that you are creating, okay? And it's a cloud service, so there's nothing that you can't actually, and you can sync your files for easy access, for as I said before, multiple devices, but also with other people. Okay, and you can access it on your smartphone. Doesn't matter where it is. Okay, so everything is in one place, and this is somewhere that you need to go. I think go on a laptop or on a computer first of all, but you can go, if you don't have those things, then go on your app, and you could download Google Drive. It's an app. Okay, remember, all these are apps, and it's free. Okay, to download. Okay, and when you download Drive, or when you open any account that needs storage, like your Gmail needs storage, your Gmail goes into storage, is you're allowed 15 gigabytes of storage space. Okay, and after that, you must either clean up your act and take out the things that really you don't want to store there anymore. And there could be some very old photographs, or there could be some old documents or old presentations or whatever. Okay, and but the other option is, I'm not sure if you can see here on the left-hand side of the screen, it says my storage is 97% full. Okay, and I've already bought some. Okay, so, and it's not expensive. To buy storage is cents. You're talking about cents. You're not talking about dollars. Okay, and so they charge you on a monthly basis or an annual basis, and there it says buy storage. So you would click and buy some more storage, or it gives you it actually shows you how you can delete some things that you don't want anymore. Okay, so with this Google Drive, you can create folders and put everything in different places. Okay, and a folder is available for any of your let's say Word documents, or your photos, or your spreadsheets, or your presentation. You can put them into the same folder. You don't need a separate folder for all of them. Okay, so you need to name your folders quite well, and then people share things with you. And so I just click on the share. Now, everything you see on the screen has been shared by the person on the right. Okay, it doesn't come into your storage. Okay, it's their storage, but you are given a link, and you're given permission to go and see that particular document, or that whatever it is, under shared. Okay, so just going to go back. There certainly is a very detailed advanced class showing you all the options, but one of you actually wanted to know a little bit more about Drive. Have I answered that, or would you like to ask a question? I can't recall who it was. One of you wanted to know more about.
Yes, Michael, it was me, Pat.
Yeah.
I don't know what to ask.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Oh, well, so let me ask this. How secure are things in Google Drive or in the cloud?
Okay. They basically are as secure as they are on your desktop. Okay. But that doesn't stop anybody from hacking anything on the planet today. Okay. But they need a motive, and they need some sort of reward. So if you're just storing, like I do, just everyday stuff, okay, like information for my classes, like that, they're not going to come in looking and finding any benefit of getting it from me. So, and Google is probably the strongest security. I might be stretching my neck out a little bit, but they're very, very strong with their security. And everybody now, all the tech giants, as long as they're not themselves sharing information, it's difficult for other people to come in and share information. So I would say it's very secure, and I wouldn't worry about security, but it could happen to any of us that we are hacked, and somebody
happened to the Department of Defense. None of us is safe, but it's just that we're not important. I mean, the information we have there, unless they're brokerage accounts or savings accounts like that, I don't think they would want to bother with us. That's what my son tells me.
Yeah, Pat, I agree. I think, or Nancy, is it? Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't worry about it. And also, if something gets hacked and let's say they delete all your files, okay, Google Drive has a backup. They do the backup. They secure your backup. So if that happens on your device, on your hard drive, on your computer, you know, you've got to have your own backup. You must have done your backup in order to recall that backup. These things will happen from time to time over years, possibly, but you know, they do happen. And sometimes it's just a default of some description on your hard drive that causes that. So yeah, any other questions about the drive? Because you really need to be looking at your drive, organizing your drive in some sort of folders. And if you want to, if you click My Drive, you can upload a whole folder. You can upload a file. You can upload, you know, Google Docs and all sorts of things that you want to. You can upload them, okay? And then you're able to share them, link them to your calendar if there's a time thing that you want to do something with. So these fit hand in glove. You can see on the right there, there's the calendar again, okay? There's the notes, okay? And there are the tasks. I like them there just for the little that I do use them, that they're there. And okay, so are there any questions about Google Drive? This is one of the things you must, I think, just download it onto your app, and otherwise go into the cloud and click on this thing and download it, okay? Or access it, okay?
What's the difference between a file and a folder?
A file is an individual document. A folder is where a whole lot of documents get filed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Am I right in supposing that maybe as opposed to the cloud, the hard drive, our hard drive is the safest place because nobody has access to it?
If you have internet, they do have access to it. Okay, and if you connect your computer to the internet to search for something, they have access to it. Okay.
That's right. Unless I have unless that hard drive is disconnected and I have another. Okay, so long as your hard drive is connected to the computer and with access to internet, then it's open highway for the hacker.
Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Okay, what happens if you open just for a split second? There could then be a virus or a minuscule little thing that gets loaded automatically into your drive and sits there and feeds people with information outside. Yeah. So it's not that they're going to do it while you're actually there. They're actually going to load something onto your computer without your knowledge. So that's why good antivirus software is very, very important on your hard drive. But listen, we're deviating now. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So let's move on. I want to just show you now with regards to all the Office suites and everything. If you go to Google.com, I'm just going to show you something here that I want you to see. Let me just wait a minute. Let me just. Okay. You see on the top of your screen now. Okay, under Google.com Docs about. You've got docs, sheets, slides, forms, okay? Now that, if you go, you can go to any one of those, okay? And here you can see on the screen, go to Google Docs. You can click on go to Google Docs, and now you're going just to that folder that has your Google Docs in them, okay? And so I want you to be aware that you can go and learn something from that particular aspect of just clicking on whatever is your fancy, what you want to know more about, okay? And so
Tucker Carlson today.
Be aware of that, okay?
He defended the Royals through fire. Now,
how did you get there, Michael?
It was a separate, I went to Google Docs. Well, let me just go a bit further back. And let me just share the URL with you. You can see the URL now on the top of the screen, Google google.com/doc/about, okay? And then you come up with all the office type things that you want to use, and you can access them quickly. And there's information, and you can get training and learn more about them as well. Okay, so I just want you to be aware it's there. Okay, nothing more than that. Okay, I want to leave that with you, and I want to move on to Google Contacts now. It's just Google Contacts. Obviously, you know what a contact is. You use them on your Gmail and your email, and you've got all your contacts. This becomes really quite beneficial having them in one place, because you can now organize them. Okay, you can review them. You can merge your contacts under this particular app, and it's really worthwhile. You can create personal emailing lists. Okay, so you can put certain people who are going to get emails from you on a regular basis. Let's say you email occasionally all your children. You can have all your children there, or whoever you want. You can create personal emailing lists from this particular app, and then they're available, remember, all across your apps. Okay, and from here you can quickly send messages to groups of people that you've grouped, maybe your book club, or your church group, or whatever. Okay, and you don't have to enter everything into it. It's a group that you have created, and so it's worthwhile. Again, there are classes that show you that, but you can come to this and fiddle with it and get all your contacts in one place. Okay, then I want to move on to Photos. Now, this is a Google app called Photos. Historically, it was separate totally from Google Drive, and as of June this year coming, it's now going to be part of Google Drive. But anything, you used to have unlimited storage of photos, and that's fine. You're going to be able to keep those photos, but from June, it's going to make up part of your 15 gigabytes of storage, and so now you need to be aware of that. So it's going to become part of your storage, okay, but not history. So the history that's in there is there. And of course, with Photos, there's all sorts of things that you can do. It's the home of all your memories. All right, so you can do all types of things. Go to the class, explore. If you are saving your photos here to Google Drive, some people only save them to Facebook. Okay, and that's fine too. You have a place somewhere to save your photos. You don't want to save them continuously on your phone, because you'll run out of space on your phone, okay, and storage on your phone. So you need somewhere to save them, and this is definitely an option, but there are other options, okay, and you can upload photos here at your leisure, okay. So
on Google Drive, where will they be?
They'll be under Photos on Google Drive when they move it across in June. It's not there now.
No, but when they do it in June, where are they going to go? The photos.
They're going to stay in Photos. They're going to stay in the folder, Google Photos.
Pay for it. But you'll have to pay for it.
Well, once you exceed your free limit, okay. So it's just really a warning. It's coming up. June's coming up quite quickly, but they start from scratch. So remember, your old photos don't qualify for the storage. They get their free storage as they always had. Then the next app is Translate. Here, if you are exposed on a regular basis to a foreign language and so on, there's an app called Google Translate, where you can now translate from virtually any language to any language. And I've never used it personally, even though I teach a Russian class. They learn in English. I'm not learning Russian. So You can select your language. So if that's, I'm not going to spend any more time on this. I just wanted to make you aware in case you do want to translate. Okay.
It's great for travel.
Say again.
It's great for travel because once in a while I forget a phrase and I quickly go. I use that. I use my Android for that technical traveling. In a panic. Situation where you need to ask something quick, it's very helpful, and it even verbalizes, so you know how to say it.
Yes, absolutely. Very useful for traveling. Okay, you remember those days when we were allowed to travel? Eh? Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. So thanks for sharing that, Sylvia. Okay, then the next one is Google Play. Okay, now this is where you can see on the screen, you can buy movies and all sorts of different types of categories of movies and activity. And you've also got apps. I'm going to click on the apps under Google Play. Okay, and let's search for something like there's an app called Lens. Okay, now, I don't know if any of you have used Lens, but there it is right first. Now there are other also lenses, but this lens,
it's
you
9
often,
o'clock.
You often find this icon on a photograph or something like this. Now what you do is you download this app onto your phone, and then you activate it, and you can point your camera at a plant, and it'll give you the name of that plant. Okay.
Wow.
It's absolutely amazing. Now I use it in the garden, so you can point it towards a picture, an image or something, and it'll give you the name, or it'll give you similar images if it can't give you the name. Okay. So it's really fun to use, a lot of fun, and but it's also very knowledgeable. You know, you can get on with the lens, and you can all sorts. Okay, I'm not aware that we have an advanced class on this, so I don't think we do. But on Google Play we do, but and not think about the lens. So you can search for different types of apps as well, and you know, Google Play, you can play games on Google Play if you want to, you know, play solitaire because that's what you like to do by yourself, or you can get somebody else to join you and you can play some other types of puzzle games and adventure games and things like this. These are word search, which I did this morning, if any of you in the class this morning. So you can play a word search with somebody, you know, on the other side of the planet. But certainly with your grandchildren and children and so on. So it's worthwhile coming to explore. We do have a class on that as well. So you've just got to search for it. So that's Google Play. And then we come to what was requested a moment ago, Google Earth. Okay, this is now a satellite in the sky that looks down on Earth, and you can now click, let's say, on the extreme left there's a search icon, and you can now click on any particular address in the world. It then goes around and turns the world upside down to find your address, and there it goes, and even shows you the house from space. Okay, there it is. It's an absolutely amazing, it's a lot of fun. I mean, you can use it to go and look at the equator, you can go and look at the Antarctic, but just you can go and play with it. Okay, I find it fun and use it for fun, just as and it, you know, if you want to find your nearest McDonald's, you know, you can it'll take you to the nearest McDonald's and show you how to get there with the maps. Okay, so
I'm doing it the hard way. I use the GPS, which is faster.
Right, yeah, you probably use this. You see, this is now Google Maps, and it absolutely takes you wherever you want to go. All you got to do, there we are, McDonald's, Harrisdale, okay? It now shows you immediately where it is, okay? And you get on the left here, you get directions on how to get there. You can save it, okay? And you can send it to your phone if you're going to need that GPS, as you say. So this is Google Maps, and I know there are different ones, but Google Maps for me is really indispensable. I mean, I don't even have an old-fashioned map book anymore. Okay, to find out how to get to, I just click the address and in it goes, and there it is. So that's Google Maps. The other app that I want to show you are podcasts, Google Podcasts. This is audio, so you just listen to this, while you're washing the dishes or while you're going on a walk or a 10-mile run. You could be listening to any one of these apps here. Probably the most common is TED Talks, and you click on the app, and you can now go and listen to these various options under TED Talk. Okay, just click on them, and you could now listen to the audio of the TED Talks. So the podcasts I find very useful. I listen to I subscribe to certain people, and because I like their information that they give out, and it's all types of information. I mean, it really is just amazing what you can get here, and so have a look and try it out, download it. Because sometimes you don't want to watch a video, okay? You just want to listen to something, okay? And if you're a woman, well, then you can do two things at the same time. Unfortunately, that's what men can't do. But so I can't read and listen, okay? But you might be able to. And
the problem with those is that they always need cookies and they want permissions. And some of the permissions they want are just out of this world. I mean, they want permission into your contacts, and some. I don't see why they need that. That's what some reason I don't.
Yeah, Sylvia, it's a good point you bring up, because you've got to discriminate. Okay, if it's an app that you use regularly, okay, let's say this one now, Google News, that's up. That's an app. And then I would give permission, okay, because it wants to know more about me and be able to give me the right news, okay. But if I'm just web searching and that comes up, I just say no, 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 okay. But there are times when you need to say yes for your life. You get a better service out of that. So, so the last one here is the news, and you've got all sorts of, you can go to world news, you can have local news, and so you've got your news here. You don't have to watch it on television, because you can now also manipulate what you're going to see. And if you want to follow a particular trend of something, then you click follow, and that would always come up. If you enjoy your business, then there's business. And if you enjoy technology, which I do, then you can see all sorts of new things that are being made before they've even been released. Okay, so yeah, that's your news, and that brings us a little bit over the hour, and I apologize for not getting it all in for you, but I hope you have got an idea of what happens on some of the Google apps. And if you have any questions, I will certainly try and answer them now. And are there any questions?
None over here. Good session. Lots to learn.
Okay, thank you.
When is what's the title of the advanced class? You said they're all about Gmail.
Yeah, you would. I don't know if Lester is still here, whether he can just look up the URL and put it in the chat page. And but you would need, you can go
What's
to,
the title of the class?
Yes.
yeah,
so-
Gmail, it's Gmail, just Gmail, I think, Gmail,
Gmail Basics, I think.
Gmail Basics, that's it, yeah,
Okay.
Oh, basics.
Hold on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
1 second.
But it's a whole hour on Gmail, right? So,
Well, I can use that. It has so many capabilities, and I haven't used half of what my S7 and could do, and now I'm in S20, and I'm even worse.
okay.
Just explore, and I touch this, and it threw a monkey wrench into my so.
Okay.
So I thought if I listen some more, maybe I'll pick up something, some other
Okay.
clues.
Thank you, Michael. This was a
Thank
very
you.
good session.
Thank you. I appreciate the feedback, and I'll send you an email. Remember, you'll only get an email if you came through the booking process, because then get set up, and you've used your correct name, then you'll get an email.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, that's what that setup is. So, but otherwise, you won't. So, thank you very much. And
Thank
have a
you.
good evening.
Take
Okay.
care, Mike. Have a good
And
evening.
we'll see
Thank
you
you.
again soon.
Thank you,
Okay,
Michael.
great.
Thank you.
Look forward to that.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.